from the Arkansas Storm Team, tracking winter weather.
Well, if the day ends in Y, it seems like this week the Arkansas Storm Team is tracking winter weather. And folks, before we start talking a little bit about that, and just a quick glance, because as Hayden will share, a lot of data still to analyze and try and piece together here. But let's talk about the next just few hours here. Meteorologist Hayden Nick standing by in the Weather Center. And Hayden, we are looking at some of this video from this morning, and it really was an icy start to the day.
Absolutely. And I think I'll say this too, a lot of locations, especially in central Arkansas, you don't want sleet or freezing rain in general, but if you had to pick one of the better options, if you had to have it, it would be sleet, because that does not accumulate on power lines or some of that significant infrastructure. Of course, bridges and roadways, it does, but we do see a little bit better of a handling with the sleet situation. And so we had that here, but more freezing rain to the south. I will say at this point, though, looking ahead to the rest of this afternoon and into the evening hours, while temperatures are expected to stay below freezing, much of the moisture is out of the state. Now, the only location where we could see maybe a little bit more of that coming back in would be for areas of southeast Arkansas. And I'm going to go ahead and turn the clouds off so you can kind of get a better view of just what radar is showing. Now, we've had a little bit of a light flurry report in far northern Arkansas near Harrison and Mountain Home, but really that is just amounting to a few flurries, but nothing that's going to come out of a significant accumulation. It's just going to maybe create a little dusting on maybe an elevated surface. But down across southeast Arkansas, additional possible sleet and freezing rain could create a light glazing in addition to what's already happened there, but not much more is anticipated out of today, and especially for the metro. So I want to go ahead and move here to forecast, precipits, and temps. So this is going to allow us to move ahead in time here, and I'll show you how we're thinking this is going to play out for the rest of tonight. So as I move forward here, notice that this forecast model is trying to really bring a lot of precipitation back into southeast Arkansas. Not quite buying the aggressive nature of this. So let's trim it back. It's about 40% of this actually materializes. So I'm still saying that there is going to be something moving in, but as far as its coverage and the amount that we could see from it, it's going to be very limited in nature. So you're already dealing with down there ice patches on roadways. That's still going to be something that you experience for tonight. Regardless of what you have here, it just may create a little bit more on the road, but you're already going to have that to be concerned with for tonight and into Friday morning. But notice here, as we move into Friday, things are going to start out pretty chilly. Temperatures likely dropping into the 20s for many locations. Could have some teens across northern Arkansas, and then maybe some lower 30s, only getting down across far south central and southwestern sections of the state. So really, as we move forward in time here, this is what we're expecting for later on tonight. We didn't have temperatures get above freezing, so there's been little melting today. Now, the sun, believe it or not, while we still have a thick cloud deck, is trying to help break down some of that ice on the roadways. But again, it's not going to be a lot. So little melting, that temperature, and when the sun goes down, is going to create a refreeze, especially with the slush, and ice patches will continue. So make sure to check iDriveArkansas.com before you have to head out. If you absolutely have to, I would say travel still discouraged tomorrow morning. We won't see as much of the iciness as we observed this morning, but we're still going to have some of it. So just certainly something to think about. Conditions should improve tomorrow afternoon as temperatures begin to warm up. Now, looking beyond today, we said that we're trying to cram 3 months of winter weather into the span of several days here, and we've got another round possible. And I do want to just bring this up because a lot of people are already seeing it stir on social media. And I will say, today is Thursday. There are still limitations to what we know with a lot of confidence, and there are still limitations with what we know with little confidence here. So we know consistently there has been a signal that winter weather will return Sunday into Monday. Now, we can narrow down that time frame a bit more, saying it's going to start Sunday afternoon, lasting through Monday afternoon. We're still trying to get those details ironed out. So right now, we know Sunday and Monday will be days that we could be impacted by this next weather system. Snow accumulation is going to be likely in the area shaded in white. Wintry mix likely in the area shaded in pink. Now, the wintry mix could include sleet and snow. This is going to be more of a sleet snow type setup here. But as you can see, I have no amounts put on this, and there's a reason why. There is still going to be significant fluctuations between now and tomorrow and Saturday until we can get closer and there's better data that helps establish this. I will say that this system that is going to impact us is still over the Pacific Ocean at this time. So we are getting some data from this via satellite and also the buoys out there in the ocean. But once this moves inland, we're going to start getting better sampling from the thousands of temperature sensors at the surface and also weather balloons that are launched on the West Coast via the National Weather Service. They're going to be able to get the vertical observations of the atmosphere just above it. So that'll allow us to really start to hone in on some of those specifics that a lot of people want to know about. How much am I getting in my backyard and things like that. So we'll get a better idea of that Friday into Saturday. We'll make sure to let you know. But for now, this is what we can provide. Snow accumulation likely. Winter mix likely going into Sunday and on Monday.
Well, and, I just want to throw out, Hayden, it was actually in the middle of our noon newscast. I was doing a traffic update, and I went to Hayden and I said, Hayden, okay, just an estimate on snow accumulation. And Hayden's response was, I just think there's going to be snow. That's what the model's showing. There'll probably be something, but it's just too far out at this point.
Yeah, we're confident it's going to happen, but with regards to what those exact numbers are going to be, we just cannot with any confidence. There's no forecast skill in that right now. But once we get to Friday night and into Saturday, we will get that, and we will have those maps put out. But for now, just stand by, be patient. It's coming, but we'll get those numbers to you when that confidence starts to build in. I would say at this point, inches, but more than that, I can't put you a solid number out there, Mitch. But
not
for those who've wanted
address,
snow, I think a lot of people will likely get a little bit excited about this, but just hang tight. We'll get you some more data out there when it comes in.
Okay, so a lot to monitor there, especially on that next system, Hayden. So tonight, just some questions that have come up, at least for the overnight hours. Is there any concern about a refreeze on some of our city roads, maybe highways, sidewalks, things like that? Could it tomorrow morning look like this morning?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, so temperatures here in the metro have not improved much today. Will likely stay right at freezing or just below it. So there's been little melting. So there has been subtle improvements, but because the sun's going to set, we're going to lose some of that just little bit of assistance from the sun. Temperatures dropping into the 20s. The ice patches will still remain that didn't get a lot of sun today. And then the slush that was created from vehicles kind of breaking up what was on the road will refreeze tonight. So there will be some issues tomorrow morning, yes. So traveling discouraged even at that point too. But we're not going to see probably as much of the real estate of the roadways with ice patches and slushy problems, but there's still going to be some out there. So while you're commuting from your home to work tomorrow, if you have to, just be mindful of that. Give yourself some extra time and make sure to give yourself a little more space between those vehicles just in case if you do have to slow down that you're capable of doing that.
Well, in looking at this, it's been vast improvements, at least from this traffic camera. This is Interstate 40 out in the Carlisle Lone Oak area. Pat Walker's actually been watching this traffic camera for most of the morning, and we had talked about it at noon as well. And that is a significant difference from what we saw earlier today, but some of the traffic backups continue.
Absolutely. And so when you're talking about the interstates, there will probably be bigger improvements there because they're going to be taken care of. There's a lot more traffic that's kind of helped on that. But you got to get to the interstate from secondary roadways and roads that have probably not been traveled on much today and have probably been in the shade quite a bit. So very little in the way of improvements been there too. So yeah, not so much focusing on the interstates, while that is a good sign to see too. A lot of people use them, but you've got to get from there from your home to the interstate, and that's where we could see some of those problems arise again tomorrow.
Hayden Nix over in the Arkansas Storm Team Weather Center this afternoon. Hayden, I appreciate it. And at this point, I guess it's a waiting game related to this weather that might be coming in Sunday and Monday.
Yeah, there's no might be at this point. It's coming in, and we're going to be watching it closely. And And yes, we're watching it. Trust us, we have been discussing this, and the team of 6 meteorologists, we have been talking about the adjustments, and of course, we'll make sure to be right there with you, updating you every step of the way.
Meteorologist Hayden Nix in our weather center at this very hour. Hayden, thank you. I know that I got to let you go because I think you have a 3 a.m. wake-up call tomorrow.
It's going to be early, but we're going to continue to provide the coverage for our viewers.
Awesome. Hayden Nix, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Of course, stay with the Arkansas Storm team on air, online. Let me bring up this graphic here because this is a pretty good resource available to folks. You can watch us on air beginning at 4 p.m. today. We'll have new weather information. You saw Jeff Baskin coming in the background there. That means the Chiefs are in, and they are going to be analyzing some of that new weather data coming in right now. So Chief Keith Monahan's forecast at 4 p.m. on Channel 4. Fox 16 News at 5:30. Jeff Baskin will be in. Of course, updates at krk.com and fox16.com. Download our apps right now. You won't miss a beat. You could even get notified whenever we do these live streams like this where we bring the meteorologists in, we have longer conversations. If you download the KRK, Fox 16, and the Arkansas Storm Team apps, we'll do that for you. And then, of course, follow us on Facebook and Twitter. That is the very latest on this weather update. Again, our coverage continues with team coverage at 4 p.m. on KARK regarding the latest ice storm and tracking that next system. For now, I'm Mitch McCoy. Stay warm out there.